Afternoon everyone, welcome to our next game of 28mm Napoleonic. This is doing a retreat from Quatre Bras to Waterloo scenario. It's the second time we've played this scenario, and there's an earlier version on this channel. We're going to be doing this one with full dice rolls today, and we've got more of the right units for the scenario, and we're going to be doing full General d'Armée rules, so we'll be bringing reserves on through off-table and on-table reserve rolls, rather than the timed reinforcements that were in the one we originally played. And there might be one or two nice surprises over the appalling weather that's going on here. So we're in the middle of massive thunderstorms, as occurred on the 17th, the day after Quatre Bras. Okay, let's take a look. We'll take a look at the French forces first. So the French have two brigades, three brigades of cavalry, two of chasseurs. So we have here on table, leading the screen, the first chasseurs Cheval, and they're supported by the 6th chasseurs Cheval. We have Marshal Lay leading, and Piret next in as commander of the Light Cavalry Division. We have the other components of the Piret's Light Cavalry Division here. So we have a Lancer regiment on this flank. And we have, as you can see, a Lancer regiment in the centre. Supporting those and just coming onto the table, we have two small French infantry brigades coming on in column. And as we go across, let's take a look. We've got a heavy cavalry brigade, which at this stage in the game is also in reserve. Two units of cuirassiers. One of 8 bases, one of 6 bases. So 18 and 24 figures in those two regiments. Let's take a look. Here we go. Here's the infantry and the artillery limbert coming on in support. And a close up of those lancers. And then we have Ney and Piret. We also have at the back of the table, looking on, just to see how things are going. We just had to put Napoleon on the table. This one I picked up actually off eBay a number of months ago now. Particularly nice model. And there he's got his escort squadron. Also, but not playing any active part in the battle. So that's the totality of the French forces. French have two objectives. They have to capture both the little farm buildings, as you can see on the table, and capture a ridgeline behind which the Allied forces are deployed at the moment. The British have to delay them capturing the ridgeline for 10 turns. You can see in this little village, we've got some of the Nassau battalion formed up, holding this village. And as we move forward, we have another small element of Nassau troops here. Not quite in focus. That's a bit better. Occupying this little farmstead, behind which we have currently the 2 British artillery batteries that are deployed. And an ammunition wagon here in this little valley, and they'll be moving swiftly up onto the hill, and they're supported by, we didn't have this in the last game, a full brigade of the Life Guard, units of 4 and 3 bases, so all small units in the Life Guard regiment. We then have a light cavalry brigade of light dragoons and hussars. And then finally, let's move across the table. We also have the other heavy cavalry brigade, including the Scots Greys. So look at those. Right, so a short game, a delaying action, and we'll go and rush Charlie up and start the game. Okay, so we're just about to start turn 1 and we have to activate our brigades. First we roll for our ADCs. So for active brigades on table, they get a dice per brigade. So Charlie's got a light and heavy cavalry brigade on table, so he has 2 dice and he'll need 3+ to activate those. Do you want to roll those, Charlie?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got 2 ADCs and then you have 2 on table but reserve brigades. So roll for those, 2 more dice, and they will need 5s as they're currently in reserve. Okay, my gosh, so you've got 4 ADCs. For the French, we have the 2 light cavalry brigades and the 2 infantry brigades, so we have 4 on-table brigades to start with. So we have 2 ADCs from that, and the French have 1 on-table reserve, which is their cuirassiers, and they're active. So I've got 3 ADCs, and Charlie's got 4. We'll allocate those to our brigades and come back and see if we can activate the brigades. Okay, so Charlie's allocated his ADCs. He's allocated 1 to his lifeguards, giving them release from reserve and a reroll, and then he's put rerolls on his other 2 cavalry brigades. For the French, I've allocated 1 to my lancers, 1 to my chasseurs, and 1 to my 1st brigade of light infantry. Alright, we'll roll to activate. So rolling to activate my chasseurs. These have a reroll if I need it. A 2, I do need a reroll. A 5, so they're active. Then for my lancers, these also have a reroll. They're active. My left-hand infantry brigade, they have a reroll. They need it. Yeah, I rolled a 4, so they're active. And then my other infantry brigade, no reroll for that one, but it's rolled a 3. So all my brigades are active. Okay, Charlie, let's do yours. But I did need most of those rerolls the ADCs gave me.
Although nearly all hesitant.
Right, let's go with yours. So releasing your unit from reserves, you do have a reroll for this if you need it.
I'm rolling a French dice too, so that needs a reroll, and it comes out.
Okay. Then your light cavalry brigade.
Yeah. Active.
And then your heavy cavalry brigade.
Active.
Okay, so we're both fully active. Let's roll for initiative. So we now both roll 2d6, and because no one has a hesitant brigade, it's a straight dice off.
And hopefully the British are active.
7.
I hope British initiative like they always do. And 7. So we roll
Alright,
again.
let's roll again. First turn in the game. If we're already in action, the team that had initiative in the previous turn will gain it, but as we're on the first turn, we'll reroll. I've only got 4.
I got 4.
Wow, twice in a row! One of us will get the initiative.
Hopefully.
4. 10. Alright,
A bit
English have
overkill,
initiative.
but yeah.
Off we go. Okay, so we finished moving for turn 1. The French Lancer Brigade is looking to form itself up. The French light cavalry has pushed forward. And as we pan across the table, you can see the left hand of the French 2 infantry brigades is peeling off to its left, so it can assault the Nassau company that's occupying this building, and it's thrown its skirmishers forward. Those cuirassiers are still in reserve for the French. The other French brigade has just formed itself into attack column. On the British side, Charlie's been pretty aggressive. He's moved his heavy cavalry up and over the ridge, along with the Scots Greys. In addition, he's moved his light cavalry brigade forward onto the edge of the ridge and deployed one of his batteries of artillery behind it. Assembly on the other side of the village, also occupied by Nassau riflemen. He's moved his lifeguards forward and deployed his foot artillery battery on the hill. Both of those are unlimbering, so they've moved and unlimbered this turn. So Charlie's not intending to fire at them because they'll be on a -4 to their dice rolls. and similarly the French artillery battery is also undimbered on the other side. That's it for turn 1. We'll move on to turn 2. Okay, moving on with turn 2. Firstly, we'll roll for the French. For ADCs for on table, he gets 3, and then for his off table brigade, doesn't get an ADC. So 3 ADCs to deploy for the French.
So the British ADCs, we have 3 on table ADCs,
Get
2, and 1 off table.
No, just 2 ADCs to deploy for the British. Let's deploy our ADCs. Okay, let's roll for activation. Charlie, you go first. Let's start with your heavy cavalry brigade by the window.
Okay. They are hesitant.
Okay, your light cavalry brigade on the hill in the centre.
Are active.
Your light cavalry brigade in reserve.
Is
Out of
active.
reserve, that's good. And then your lifeguard brigade.
Is
Hesitant. So your 2 heavy cavalry brigades are hesitant, which gives the French at least a bit of a pause.
The lucky thing is for me, I wasn't going to move my heavy cavalry.
So rolling for the French lancers, they're active. The chasseurs are active. The infantry brigade behind the lancers is hesitant. The infantry brigade potentially assaulting the village is active. And the cuirassiers, who have a reroll, are out of reserve. Alright, so I've got 1 hesitant brigade. Charlie, you've got 2. This is at -1 for the British. French get 7.
-2 for the British.
-2.
6.
British get 6, that's down to 4. French have initiative. Alright, we'll move on with initiative in turn 2. Okay, so we've done turn 2 movement, and the French have moved their lancers up. So they're supporting one another, and they're supporting the chasseurs in a long line of light cavalry. Doesn't look the strongest formation. They're being faced off by 2 regiments of Charlie's light cavalry, and slightly further in the rear, his 2 units of heavy cavalry on this flank. Charlie's moved his reserve cavalry brigade also forward, regiment. He's unmasked his guns on both hills, so they'll be opening fire this turn. And his hesitant life guard have shuffled to the right to unmask the gun on this flank as well. So, we'll start with firing. We've got some French skirmishers first, firing into the village down here. We've got 3 bases. That's normally 3 dice, isn't it, Charlie?
Yeah.
Less 1 for firing into a building. So we need 5s and 6s.
Wait, and you should get the skirmishers though, anyway.
Which is just 1 unit. There's a few more figures out just to make it look a bit better. It's just 1 unit. So nothing there. And then we'll fire our medium artillery battery. This is going to be at long range, and we're going to fire all the way over here. Okay, and we'll fire at the lifeguard. Let's have a look. Artillery at long range. A 7 is half a casualty, but there won't be any bounce through because of the angle. So let's just see what we do over here. A 5, so that's 1 casualty against the lifeguard. We'll mark that up. Charlie, do you want to respond with your artillery batteries?
So I'm going to fire my artillery battery at your cover up there.
Okay.
At medium range, I think that is.
I think that'll be at long range because it's over 24 inches. You can fire over the building, can you, Charlie?
Yeah, because I'm on a hill.
Right, okay.
I'm just going to check. So how far is medium range?
Yeah, 24 inches from the middle of your unit to the closest part of my target.
Just out. Not just out, but
Yeah.
close.
Right, sorry about that. I think that's the blender going off in the kitchen. We'll just do this firing. Go on, Charlie. 7, that's half casualty. Nothing. And then from your other artillery battery, what are they going to be firing at?
They're going to shoot at the same target.
The same target. I think they've got to shoot at the closest one, so it'll be the other chasseur unit, I think.
But they're the exact
Which will
same.
be
They're
this one.
they're the exact same place.
They are the same brigade. Well, we'll measure it, but let's just see what your casualties are, and then we'll apply it to the closest target, which is what you need to do.
9.
That's better. At long range, that's 1 casualty and a discipline test. We'll roll the discipline test for the French. They roll a 4, so they go unformed. We'll just do that. That concludes the end of turn 2. Okay, so we're just rolling ADCs. Charlie's got 4 active ADCs. So he's got his maximum allowance. French have got all their brigades on the table, so they've got 5 now, needing 3 plus. Wow, that couldn't be more different. Only 2 active ADCs for the French.
That's half of what the British got.
Half of what the British got, yeah. I'm going to activate this brigade and my chasseurs à cheval. How are you going to allocate your 4, Charlie?
I am going to put one on my heavy cavalry, on my KGL. Well, I'm putting one in every single cavalry brigade.
Okay, cool. Let's roll to activate then. I'll start with the French, starting with the Lancers are active. The Chasseurs, who've got a reroll, who need it, are active. The Infantry Brigade behind the Chasseurs are hesitant. The Infantry Brigade assaulting the village are active. And my Cuirassiers are hesitant. So I've got 2 hesitant brigades. Alright, Charlie, yours?
So my KGL.
Mm-hmm.
I know, I mean my
Guards.
guards.
Need a reroll.
Active. My light cavalry.
Active. Your heavy cavalry.
Yeah. Active.
And your reserve cavalry.
Yeah.
Active. So I'm at -2. Let's roll for initiative. I get 6 minus 2 is 4.
I
You get 6. So British have got initiative. Alright, let's crack on. Movement in turn
Charges.
3.
Charges.
Alright, we'll start up here with the British heavy dragoons against a French lancer unit. So you're veterans, Charlie, so you add 1. You are heavy cavalry, so you add another 1. You're going against campaign cavalry.
Okay.
So that's a
above you.
-1 off me.
I'm a mark above you.
Hmm?
I'm a mark above you.
A morale grade above me. Yeah, but that's the +1 for being veteran. So you're on +2 and I'm on -1.
So I have 12 in total.
We've both got the same frontage. Neither of us have got casualties.
I've got 12.
So, well, you haven't rolled yet.
I have just now.
What, so you rolled a 10, did you?
Yes, and then.
Well, I can't see that. You need to roll it when I'm looking, mate. It's not very fair otherwise.
Because I thought you had rolled because you're already telling us so.
So I got 5. -1 is 4. You got 10. So that's cavalry versus cavalry. -6 or worse. I retreat and take 1d3 casualties. So I take 3 casualties. Alright, and you take the ground.
And
Let's move on to the next one.
Fall back off the table.
Yeah, although I'll probably just fall back this way. Just because the table should extend into this little corner here. Right, for the next one then, Charlie. So again, I think it's exactly the same.
Yeah,
so you're at +2 and I'm at -1. So I get 10.
And I get a 8. +2 is 10.
Alright, and I get 10 -1 is 9. So it's a -1. So we melee, and I countercharge. Alright, so we'll move the figures for that. Okay, fighting the third battle, French are campaign cavalry, so they're at -1, and Charlie's attached his general, so it's +2 to Charlie on this. I get 6.
-1 to you, +1 for me.
Yeah, so I'm on 5.
I'm on 8, +1 is 9.
9, so that's a...
And you're on 5.
3 to 5. Attacker, melee with a land, defender melee unformed.
You're unformed, so you have 5. I mean, you're campaign cavalry, so you're on 5, and I'm on 9, so I'm on by 3.
No, the difference between 9 and 5 is not 3, Charlie, I'm afraid, it's 4.
Oh yeah.
I was right. So you melee with a land, I melee unformed. Actually, I misread the result here. Charlie, you should have had a victory on that one because you won by 6 because you were charging. I rout and take 1d6 casualties. So more casualties on the French unit down here. It's taken 5 casualties and we'll change that retreat to a rout. Alright, so we'll move these 2 into contact. Alright, and then on the last combat, so
This is the worst for you because you get a
actually that I would have had an extra bonus because I've got a wider frontage than you in that combat. So I wouldn't have lost by... How many did I lose by?
You lose by 4, but I think it's the same. I still get
Yes, it is. It's exactly the same. Okay, on this one here...
This is worse for you. You're campaign cavalry and you're unformed.
So I'm campaign cavalry and unformed, so that's -2. I've got my
-3,
general...
because -2.
No. -1 for campaign cavalry, -1 for being unformed, +1 for having
Isn't
my
it
general
-2?
attached.
I think it's -2.
+1.
Oh, for combat it's -2.
Yeah. Got my general attached, that's +1, and I've got a wider frontage than you. That's +2, so they all cancel out to 0, and I'm a large unit. I don't know whether that makes any difference.
No, it's just a wider frontage, that's it. It's just if you're a wider frontage.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, so it's just a straight roll-off.
It's only if you're infantry. And
I get a 10. My gosh, I might win one.
5. So
5.
that's
So I win by 5. So that's -5. So attacker melee's unformed. I countercharge and melee with Elan. All right, we'll put those counters down. All right, so over on the left flank, the French have charged Charlie's village, and Charlie in normal movement has started moving his heavy cavalry forward. These are the lifeguards now approaching the flank of the cuirassiers, so that does not look good.
The cuirassiers, even if they do win that combat, they're going to get, they'll be still unformed and get obliterated by my rest of my cavalry.
So now we'll do some artillery. I think the British to go first.
Yeah, so
Charlie, what are you going to fire your guns at?
I'm firing this gun at those 2 battalions behind.
Okay, so you'll get bounced through on the second one. They're both at long range. So first shot.
Wait, what do I get? Can I actually shoot at that one? They get bounce through, then bounce through, then bounce through.
You only get 1 bounce through.
Oh, I was thinking if I could shoot at those guys.
Yeah, you've got to shoot at the infantry there, Clarissa.
Okay.
8. That's not bad. That's 1 casualty, and then 4, 5 or 6 for a bounce through. Yeah, so that's a casualty on each.
The other artillery piece is going to shoot at that column up there.
Okay, that'll also be at long range.
That'll be
a fatigue marker.
definitely.
All right, we'll mark up those, and then we'll move on to the hand-to-hand combat, which will be fairly crunchy in turn 3. Okay, we'll start with the hand-to-hand combat. We'll start up here. Scots Greys going against the Lancers.
So I'm heavy cavalry, +2 dice. I'm a morale grade above you, because I'm...
Veteran.
Actually 2 morale grades above you.
Every cavalry +2 dice.
I'm a 2 morale brigades.
I start with 5 as well.
I think I'm 2 morale grades
No,
above you.
you're not. You're only 1. You're only veterans.
But you're just a light cavalry.
I know, but that doesn't mean I'm not line though. So you are 5, +2 is 7 for being heavy. I'm formed Lancers versus cavalry, so I get +1. Large unit, are you a large unit?
We're the same frontage.
We're the same, so neither of us get anything for that.
No, I'm bigger than you by 1. But
Yeah, I think we need to be 8 strong to be a large unit in cavalry.
I am 8 strong though.
You're not, you're only 7 for the Scots Greys.
I think
No, you are only 7. You meleeing with a lamb? No. No casualties. Not unformed. That's it. So I get 6 dice, and I think you get 8.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4, 5s or 6s for casualties. Oh, not bad for the French. I get 4.
And the mighty British get 4.
4. So that's a draw. Melee results. Cavalry versus cavalry. We fight on. All right, so we've both got 2, so we still fight with the same number of casualties. No, 4, so we both lose 1 dice.
But you're on 5, so I'm still having a better chance.
We do. Still roll pretty well. 3 for the French.
3 again
for the British. Okay, so my God, we've both taken huge casualties there. We've both taken 7 casualties. And on the second round of draws, I think we both retire. So I will just check that in the rules, and then we'll implement the movement. Okay, so the Lancers having hold in the centre, we're now on to the first fight of my chasseurs against Charlie's light dragoons. I've got 8 bases, so I start with 5.
You're unformed.
I lose 1 for being unformed. I gain 1 for being a large unit.
Unformed in combat. -2.
No, -1.
We always used to do -2.
It's -1, Charlie. I'm just checking on the table. For the viewers at home, there you go. Unformed, top right, -1. Okay, so I start with 5. I lose 1 for being unformed, and I gain 1 for being a large unit. Charlie, you start with 5 dice, and you gain 1 for being fighting with a lamb.
Your campaign?
Yeah, that's only for charging. Neither of us are heavy cavalry. We're on the same morale grade. That's it.
Why did you get 5 dice?
I start with 5.
Yes,
I lose 1 for being unformed.
Yeah.
And I gain 1 for being a large unit. I've got 8 bases. You've only got 6. Okay, not very good. Only 2 casualties.
I got 3 casualties.
3 casualties. So on cavalry versus cavalry.
I take.
You take the ground, I retreat.
Okay, should we roll for the next one?
Okay, how many casualties did you take, Charlie?
I took.
Alright, so I'll just mark that with 3. They've got to do a retreat. Charlie, you need to put a 2 next to your unit. Give me a dice. So we just remember.
So this is
We'll
now
put
the
the casualty markers on in a second.
This is the most brutal fight.
This is the most brutal one. Alright, so I start with 5. I lose 1 for being unformed. I gain 1 for a LAN. I gain 1 for a large unit. I think that's it. You start with 5.
I'm unformed, that's
and you're unformed, so you're on 4. So we'll roll this one. I only do 2 casualties.
Could be a miracle for British to win. They get 2.
2.
Oh, you get oh no, you don't. You've taken 1 casualty so far.
So I'm going to elect to fight on. Are you going to fight on?
Yes, me too.
Okay. You sure you don't want to pull out?
No, I'm sure.
Ah, I did much better that time. 4 casualties for me.
And I did none.
Okay, so you lose by 4. You rout, and I take the ground over there. All right, we'll just move these infantry units and mark up the casualties. Right, at the end of the cavalry combat, it's a bit of a mixed result. The chasseurs on the left for the French won, but are unformed and their flanks exposed. The British light dragoons beat off the French chasseurs they were fighting. The French lancers held off the Scots Greys, but the heavy dragoons did drive back the other unit of lancers, and they're routing. So there'll be a faltering brigade test for the lancers for the French. There'll also be a faltering brigade test for the British light cavalry brigade, because the hussars were thrown back onto their own cannons. So we'll move on to turn. Is it turn 4, Charlie?
I think it's turn 5. It says turn 4 on this.
Okay, I think it'll be turn 5 then. So we'll move on to turn 5 and we'll do our ADCs. Okay, rolling for the French brigades. I've got 4 ADCs.
I have 4 ADCs.
4 ADCs. Okay, we'll allocate those ADCs. Okay, so the French have allocated their ADCs. We've put 1 on our light cavalry brigade. We've put a reroll on that, so we've got a good chance of rallying our retreating chasseur regiment back there. And we've also put 2 ADCs on the lancers to give us a falter test and a reroll on the falter test. Where have you put your ADCs, Charlie?
So I've put 1 on my guards cavalry.
Yeah.
I've put 2 on my routing cavalry.
Yeah.
And I put 1 reroll on my heavy cavalry.
Brigade. All right, let's roll for your activations first then, Charlie.
So my King's Guard cavalry is active.
Okay.
My heavy cavalry
is
active.
Yeah.
My light cavalry up there.
With the falter?
No, my other one up there.
Oh right, yeah.
Yep,
That's hesitant.
That's fine because I'm not using it at all.
And then your faltering brigade.
Yep. 6 I'm doing
Okay,
that.
so you're in
You would never
good shape.
change a 6.
No, indeed. All right, now let's roll for the French.
So it's just clear.
Yeah. No, they don't form up yet. They do that in the movement phase, but they are rallied and they're not under any penalties. So rolling for my chasseurs. They are active, so they won't be retreating anymore. Rolling for...
They weren't routing.
They were retreating though. So their retreat comes off.
No, you didn't need to roll for your retreat coming off.
No, I know, but I need to make the brigade active or they stay under retreat orders if it's hesitant.
Then why did you put 2 dice on it?
Because I wanted to reroll to make sure it didn't... Oh, I only needed to put 1, didn't I, for a reroll? So I've got a spare ADC. I'll put the spare ADC on the infantry brigade down there, for which we need to do the combat, because we forgot. So we'll do the combat for that in a second. I'll just roll for that brigade. That brigade is active. Okay, so I've done... and then my cuirassiers, who don't have a reroll on them, they are active. So far everything's active.
They can't move those.
They are a bit penned in. And now the important one, the reroll on my lancers.
They don't have a reroll. They only have...
do. They've got 2 dice on them. I had 2 ADCs.
Why did I there?
That's just a spare dice. Okay, so we get a 3 on the falter test.
That'll be nearly all of them gone.
Yeah, I think I'll try again. 6! We rally. That's good news. It's not the end of the game for the French. Okay,
but I think they will destroy, because I'm probably going to charge them again with that heavy cavalry unit.
You probably will. Alright, we'll apply those results, update our statuses,
and
then
let's
roll for initiative. Yeah, so we're all active, aren't we, Charlie? So no penalties. So the French get 7. The British get
4.
All right, so the French are active. That's useful. We'll just do that combat in the village and see where that is. I'll give you an update in a second. Okay, so we just did that combat in the corner very quickly, and Charlie threw me back. So because I haven't got infantry assault off, I can't throw the extra battalions in.
And you thought you didn't need it.
And I went on to -1, so we'll probably sort ourselves out and attack again in a turn or two's time. All right, Charlie. Who got initiative that turn? The French did, didn't they?
Yeah.
French to move first. We'll do charges, then movement.
So you had...
Right, so it's pretty active. Given we're in for a penny, in for a pound, my French lancers have charged the Scots Greys again. Might as well try and defeat them as far away from our lines as we can. My unformed large regiment of chasseurs has charged again into the fleeing hussars, who did manage to get an obey orders order, didn't they, Charlie? So they're going to receive that charge, but also unformed. As we look down here, Charlie's light dragoons are charging my rallied chasseurs down here, but again they are unformed. And then finally, Charlie has charged home with his heavy dragoons.
It's the exact
same thing. Everyone's following up their battles. So we've got 4 charge results to
just
do.
like real life, rout and come back. And
Yeah. And then finally, the French have taken a 2nd battalion and are assaulting the village with the 2nd battalion. So we'll see what happens down there as we do the charges in turn 5. Okay, so we'll do the charge results
Dad,
over here.
Really lucky for me, you only get -1 and I only get -1.
So we're both unformed. This is where the -2 for unformed is. It's -2 in the charge table, not in the melee table.
So you should get -2.
So I get -2 and you get -2 because you're unformed
And we
as
both
well.
get so both total get -3. But your campaign cavalry, so you get -4.
Yep. So you're on -2. You've attached your general.
Yep. So +1.
So you're on -1. And
Yep.
how many casualties have you got?
I've got, so that's -2 because I've got 5. You've got 4 casualties -1. You've got you're unformed -2, and your campaign cavalry -4.
So I'm -4 and you're -2.
Yes.
But I am wider than you. Yeah, you've got a narrower frontage.
So that's just +1. So you're still -3.
So I'm 1 worse than you.
So
I'm
you're
-3 and you're -4.
-2.
I'm -2, that's right.
No, you're -3, I'm -2.
Yeah, that's right. 9 for me.
And I get a really close one. I get 5. I meant 5.
5. So I've beaten you by 4, but
No.
there's 1 off, so I've beaten you by 3.
No, wait.
Yeah.
So you're into the adjustments.
Yeah.
So I get +1 for my general.
And we've worked all this out, Charlie. There's a difference of 1
So
in your favour.
So I'm on 4 now. Because in total
You were
I'm
5 and you lose 2, so you're down to 3.
My +1 is 4.
Why did you get +1, Charlie?
General.
Hang on a sec, we'll work it out again. We just melee. Okay, so we worked that out. I'm 1 by 3, so I melee with a land. Charlie melee's unformed, but he's already unformed.
So this combat.
Okay, so Lancers against the Scots Greys. What did you get?
So I got 9.
And I've got 8. That's
So
not going to go so well for me.
+1 for heavy cavalry. 4. +1 for
Yeah, +1 for heavy cavalry, +1 for veteran.
Yep. +1 for having my general attached.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how many casualties have you got? 7, so -2 for 7
No,
casualties, yeah?
it's -2 if you have 8 casualties.
Alright, so -1.
Yes.
So what does that leave you on?
11.
Alright, and I start on 8. I'm Lancers.
+1. -1.
No, Lancers only gives you that benefit in hand-to-hand combat.
So -1 for casualties. And that's it. That's all you get.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, neither of us have got a narrower frontage. So I'm on 7 and you're on...
11. So
It's
I win by
-4.
4.
You win by 4. So you melee with a lan, I melee unformed.
Okay.
Okay, so that's movement done. Now shooting, Charlie.
Well, it's movement now. It's just
Oh, it's movement, isn't it? Yeah, you're right. Who got initiative? Oh, I did, didn't
Yeah,
I?
'cause
Because
you're-
I charged the guys on the hill to avoid being hit in the flank.
You
So
can't actually move anything because your infantry doesn't really want to move other than they get killed, probably.
these ones weren't on.
They're hesitant though.
Hesitant, were they?
Yeah, they're hesitant. That cavalry cannot move. They've charged in, so nothing can move. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great, is it? All right, I think I'm probably static.
I'm just trying to stop you, really. I'm not trying to kill or anything. So I'm going to move up this cavalry.
All right.
And support to hopefully be able to deal with your heavy cavalry.
Okay.
So when it comes out, what if we have? Oh yeah, from the artillery.
Yeah.
Shot them.
Right, we'll just finish off the movement. All right, so we've done a little bit of movement down here. I've moved one of my. I did a voluntary retire move by one of my battalions to create a bit of space. They took an extra casualty for doing that voluntary retire. And I moved one of my cuirassier brigades forward a little bit to give something for my my chasseurs to retire behind if they need to. Otherwise, I think it's artillery fire. I'm going to fire these guns.
I don't think you can because
I can't fire them at the heavy cavalry.
Because the infantry's in the way. And
so I think
you can't fire it
at the
because
cavalry.
combat.
I don't think I can fire at anything, Charlie. Everything's masked. All right, so that battery will be silent. It's your turn, Charlie. Anything for your artillery
So I'm going to shoot that artillery on the hill. What's good is on the hill. And your heavy cavalry.
They have to shoot at the closest target, so they can shoot at.
I think it can because that's in combat. That's what I meant. I want to shoot at
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, I think you can do that.
I might be able to shoot both.
Quite a tight shot, but I think the other one's masked by your own hussar.
I got 10.
Wow, that's not bad for long range. That's 2 casualties in a discipline test.
That's good.
We'll do the discipline test on them. 7, they're fine, but 2 casualties. Fine.
Only if you had a -1, I would have been unformed, so I could shoot you again. I probably will though.
Now for some hand-to-hand combat. I've got a feeling this is going to go the way of the British, but we'll take them fight by fight. All right, Charlie. Let's start.
With the one with what?
Which one do you want to start with?
Should we do the one what you think you probably will win?
All right,
But I don't think you actually will because I've got a better chance actually because we're both the same.
So we're going to go and fight this one on the hill. So we both start with 5 dice, don't we, Charlie?
It looks way worse for me, but we have nearly the exact same.
Yeah, we both lose dice for casualties. How many have you got? You got 5, haven't you? How many have I got? Can you see?
You've got 4, so you.
I lose a dice. I'm a large unit, so I gain a dice.
You're unformed.
I'm unformed,
you
so I
unformed.
lose a dice. You lose a dice because you're unformed.
Yes.
And I gain a dice for a LAN. So I'm on 5, I'm a large unit 6, I'm a LAN unit 7, and I'm unformed, so I should be 6, I think.
No.
Large unit is +1, a LAN is +1, so I'm +2.
-2 for your...
-2, 1 for the casualties and 1 for being unformed. So I stay on 5 dice. You start on 5.
I'm on 3 now because...
You're on 3. Okay.
I might just be able to win this though. Pull it out.
Oh, 4. So I should have won that. How many do you do?
I do 2. You win that no matter what.
So I win by 2. Cavalry versus cavalry. I return to my own lines, you retreat. So you take 4 casualties, I take 2. Okay, now fighting the Lancers, Charlie. So we both start with 5 dice.
So I have a LAN +1. I'm heavy cavalry +2.
Yep.
I need to have 49 dice. I'm on a mark above you +1. So that is 9 dice.
Okay, I start with 5. I'm Lancers versus a form unit, but I'm unformed. So I gain a dice, then I lose a dice.
Oh, I have 8 because my casualties, and you have -1 because your casualties.
Yeah, how many casualties? Yeah, we both lose 1 for casualties, yeah?
Because we both have 7 casualties, don't we?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm still probably going to win because I have 8 dice against 4.
2 casualties?
Yeah, I'm going to win. Yeah, it's a bit...
4.
Yeah.
Okay, so you return to your own lines, I retreat.
So let's just see, you're on 7 casualties.
Alright, so my chasseurs are now, and my lancers have both withdrawn, but we are outflanked by the heavy dragoons. Charlie's Scots Greys have retreated back, or pulled back to his own line to reform.
I'm going to keep them back because I don't want them to die to make those guys falter.
Yeah, and he has reminded me that I have to capture the ridge, which is not looking too likely at the moment. The great flanking attack is still building up momentum. 1 more combat to do in the centre here. Alright, so we start with 5 dice.
So I have a LAN.
You have a LAN, so you add 1, and I lose 1 for being unformed.
Do your campaign cavalry?
I lose... no, that's only for charging. I am a large unit, so I gain 1.
How many casualties do you have? I think you have a lot.
2.
Oh.
You have none. That's it, I think. Yeah, so I've got 5 dice. How many have you got?
6.
Okay.
You need a roll after.
Only 1. That's not looking good.
Oh, I got 3.
All right, so you win by 2.
I think that cavalry should
You
get...
return to your own lines, and I retreat, which takes me
I think that cavalry should get
off
veterinary.
the table.
It's one against that one.
Okay, a summary of the turn here. The French did finally manage to push the Company of Nassau.
But not without
Jaegers.
casualties.
Not without casualties. They taken 4 casualties now.
They did have a cost to it.
But we caused 7 casualties on the Nassau, and they have now fled the village and been thrown out by the French here. In the centre, not too disastrous for the French, but we have the whole...
Falter, you falter too.
We've got quite a few falter tests, and we've got the lifeguard brigade bearing down on us. Our chasseurs here have taken 6 casualties. Their colleagues, their lancers next to them, have taken 11 casualties. So when I said not too bad in the centre, visually not too bad in the centre, we are outflanked by the heavy dragoons, who've taken no casualties because they've won all of that through charge results. And over here, the cuirassiers are unmasked, so we might have a final go with them, but we also have another unit of retreating chasseurs here. So we've got 1 retreat on the chasseur brigade, so they're all right, but we do have a falter test on the lancers. But the lancers have lost 1 of their regiments completely and only have 1 more casualty left on this one, so whether they go or not is somewhat academic.
Dad?
Yes, Charlie?
So, if you want to know my plan, it's really just just to keep you back, really. It's not to take up your whole army, it's just to stop you from, just a delaying action.
Yeah.
So if you do make it through your infantry, they'll hopefully have like 10 casualties, 11 casualties, or even be destroyed, so...
Yeah, I think it looks not good for the French.
And hopefully I will charge into the Emperor Napoleon.
Yes, the Emperor Napoleon, who is down here and looking somewhat nervous because there's not an awful lot between him and the rampaging British dragoons. All right, we'll move on with turn 6, is it, Charlie?
Yeah.
Okay, so rolling for the French, 5 brigades on the table. Actually, I should only roll for 4, but we'll just leave it at that because I've got a broken brigade, which needs a 5 to activate, so I should be rolling that.
I only got
separately.
1 ADC, so that's quite bad for me.
Yeah, and I've got 2. I'll need to put... Well, I might put those on my faltering brigade, or I might just let it go, actually.
You have to put it on the faltering brigade.
Yeah, you're right. I'm going to put 1 on the faltering brigade and 1 on my cuirassiers. Charlie, where are you going to put yours?
So I'm putting 1 on that battalion all the way up there.
Okay, yeah.
Because I found out something. If I do a reform and charge, you can't form square because I'm too close.
Yeah, but I don't think you have to charge forwards and wheel. So
I'm veteran. I can reform.
Yeah, but you can't then charge if you reform. You have to charge straight ahead or from your original wheel. I am in column as well, which means I'm not awful against a charge, so I might survive it. You can have a go though, because you might. If you do a wheel, you probably could clip the back of the square, the back of that column. So I think you can charge.
Or I could turn like that and then go across into them.
No, I think you're going to the closer one.
Yeah.
But I think with the wheel, you will get it, so I'll let you do that. All right, let's roll for activation though, because you might be hesitant. So I'm going to start.
I can put a reroll on it.
Roll for my cuirassiers with the reroll. Whew, they're active. My brigade in the village is active. My chasseurs have no extra roll, but they are active.
Now you're
And now my remaining lancer unit with the reroll.
You didn't have a reroll. You didn't put it on.
Is a 1. They're gone anyway. They've already got 11 casualties. So my lancer brigade is gone. But all other units remain active. Charlie, over to you.
So my King's Guards are hesitant.
You didn't put a reroll on them?
No.
Okay.
These guys, I need them to be active because I want to charge out on foreign troop. Oh, it's hesitant. My heavy brigade have a reroll.
Oh, they need it. Active.
My brigade up there, my light cavalry, please. Phew, active. So.
Okay.
Just
So but you're on -2,
Two.
and I'm on -1.
Ah.
4 for the French.
Oh.
So the British have initiative. Okay, on with charges, Charlie. Cool. Well, the French cuirassiers tried to charge the life guard, but they were out of range, so they just moved their normal move forward. The colleagues will come up in support. In fact, they probably should have come up with them because they can
But
support
they
a charge.
can't really because they have to run through those guys. Will make them.
Yeah. So we'll leave them where they are. And Charlie has managed to do a charge. I moved them slightly so they don't fall off the edge of the table, but they were able to clip the corner of that square. Sorry, that column.
Hopefully.
And as Charlie was right in saying, I don't have an opportunity to form square because he was too close.
But hopefully they will be able to get into Napoleon and cut him up to bits.
So I get a 9.
Oh, they get 10.
Right.
So plus
okay.
1 for heavy cavalry, because it's
Yep.
11. Plus 1 for being a high morale above you, which
Yep.
is 12. And I'm going to attach my general.
Where is your general?
He's up there. He's just been sitting in there right now.
Okay.
So
Yeah, you can touch your general.
yeah. I'm not going to move him because he'll be too far away.
Yep.
But
So what number are you on?
I'm on 13 now.
Okay, so I will attach my general. So I'm on 10.
Minus.
Hang on. I am also veteran because these are light infantry, and this is a veteran brigade. So
Oh no, we
I'm on
don't.
15.
We don't get higher if we're both the same morale brigade. If the same morale brigade, but if we're the same morale brigade.
You don't. Neither of us get a bonus.
Yeah, so you don't get a bonus.
But you've taken one off, yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking one off now.
So I'm back to 10.
You've been flanked.
Hang on.
Right, that is definitely a flank.
Infantry in column, I get +2.
You have been flanked.
And I lose 2 for being flanked. So it's 12 against 10. Cavalry versus infantry. Cavalry melee with elan. And I melee unformed.
I'm fine with that.
Alright, we'll mark that up. And then we'll do normal movement.
It's all medium and the other side.
So firing, Charlie's doing some long range artillery against my cuirassiers.
6. That's
that'll be
half.
half, yeah.
Yes,
That's one
casualty.
casualty. And then you've got your other battery.
Is
They
it
need to
casualty?
fire at my chasseurs. They can't fire at the cuirassiers because they're definitely closer.
That's just nothing.
A
4 5 is just nothing.
Yeah, it's not a fatigue casualty. That's it. All right. So shooting done. Now we get to some critical hand-to-hand combat down here. As the light dragoons go in.
Not like dragoons, heavy dragoons.
Sorry, Charlie's heavy dragoons go into the flank of my infantry
I think
battalion.
you would kind of admit. I'm probably going to win.
Charlie thinks he's going to win. I think Charlie is probably right. All right.
So
Let's start both with 5 dice.
I'm heavy cavalry.
Yeah.
+2. I am morale grade above you. +1.
No, you're not a morale grade above me.
I am heavy cavalry +2.
You're a large unit?
Yeah.
+1?
I'm going to get +1 more for something. Isn't it charging in the flank I get a plus? Oh, I have a LAN. Yeah, a LAN. I had a LAN. Remember you were unformed.
Yes, you have got a LAN.
So I have 9 dice.
Wow. And I think I've just got 5, and that's it.
-1 for unformed.
Yeah.
I wonder who's going to win.
So I get 2 casualties.
4 against 9.
Yeah, I think you're probably going to win, and you'll wipe me out for hitting me in the flank.
Oh, look who won. Charlie, who had 9 dice.
5 casualties, so you win by 3. Cavalry versus infantry. You disperse me. Okay, roll. I think it's 3d6
Yeah,
for
3
charging
dice.
on.
Big numbers. Oh, I definitely go in the next one though.
Okay, we'll measure how far you can go, and then we'll do that charge too. Okay, so the French did overrun the column, but they don't charge on because that wasn't a wipeout in the charge tests, but was actually a melee result. They just take the ground, so they are stopped there in front of that battalion. I think that's it. We've done fighting, we've done melee. That's the end of turn 6. On to turn 7 and ADCs. Alright, so I did well. I rolled 4 ADCs, so we'll now roll for activation for my cuirassiers. They are active. My chasseurs are active. My infantry brigade, which had the unit wiped out, yay, has got obey orders, so that's good. And then my final infantry brigade, which doesn't have a reroll, has gone hesitant. It got a 2. Alright, Charlie,
And my ADCs.
your ADCs.
I get 2, putting 1 on them and 1 on them.
Okay, let's roll for activation then. For
So-
the lifeguards.
I've got it active. This
Your
light
light
cavalry,
brigade.
active. My heavy cavalry troop,
Hesitant.
hesitant. It's quite annoying.
And then
My
your
cavalry up there.
final one. Hesitant. So you're at -2, is that right? Or is it -3?
-2.
-2. And I'm at -1. I only get 3.
I got 12.
Okay, so Charlie's got initiative. But thankfully, he hasn't got the first charge. Okay, we've done the charges. To make sure I didn't get flank charged by those light dragoons, I've charged them with my chasseurs. My chasseurs are on 6 casualties, so it might do alright.
Oh, they have 1 casualty, they're fine.
Yeah, you're better than me. Then I've gone in with my chasseurs, sorry, cuirassiers.
They have 3, I have 1.
Okay, and I'm supported by my other regiment of cuirassiers, and I brought up my chasseurs, 2nd regiment of chasseurs. And I have, because I just have jumped ahead to do it because Charlie's hesitant here, I have formed the square with my remaining infantry battalion on the flank. So this looks like it. This looks like the crunch combat of the game. Let's get on and do the charge tests in turn 7. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do the charge test. Alright, so let's roll, Charlie. 8, 7.
So, I'm going to reroll my 2.
Okay.
If I do get worse, I can reroll it again.
You can, so you have 2 supports.
10, I'm going to keep that.
That's pretty good. Okay, I'm going to see what the modifiers look like and what the result will be like before I decide whether to do my reroll.
Quickly. Actually, no, you can check.
Okay, so you are elites.
Yeah, I'm 1 mile above
So you add, add 1.
Are you campaign cavalry?
In fact, you add 2
Oh,
for
yeah.
elite, and I add 1 for being veteran. Okay.
Are you campaign cavalry?
No. We're both heavy cavalry, so we both add 1.
Okay.
Neither of us are unformed. Neither of us have got 4 casualties, have we?
No.
I've got a narrower frontage, which is unfortunate, so I lose 1. And I'm not
You're a
allowed to
9.
unit.
You put it on. You put it on. 8. You're on 9 now.
Am I?
Yeah, because you put it on 8. It should
I
be
should
on
have
9.
been on 9, should I? Okay, thank you, Charlie. And that is it. So I'm on 9. You're on 13. So it's -3 to 4. Okay, so I melee unformed. You countercharge with Elan. Well done, Charlie. So I'm unformed. You're on Elan.
I'm going to reroll.
Am I going to do a reroll? So I'm on -4.
Because it could go. Because you got a 4, it could go way worse.
What
than
did
this.
What did I start with?
You started with 9.
So I had a 6 and a 3, didn't I?
Yes. So
I'm
No.
going to re-roll
3.
the 3 and 6. So I adds 3 more to this. So that takes me to 12. Thank you, Charlie. That was really kind of you. I'm on 12. You're on 13.
Just wait, straight combat.
So it's a
Wait, I have my general attacks too, and we both have our general attacks.
We both have a general attack, so it makes no change. So we've got a straight melee counter melee, so that'll be a good battle. Right, let's do the chasseurs then. No supports for either of us in this
No,
one.
I had put this. I
Yeah,
still
but you've
have rank.
used. Oh, you've got.
I got 2 ranks. I had this support, one of them.
Okay, so you've got 1 flank support then. I get 6.
I get 11.
Okay, so you're not going to be doing a reroll. How many casualties have I got? 6. How many have you got? Hardly any, have
1,
you?
yeah.
So I lose 1 for having 6 casualties.
You're campaign cavalry,
I'm campaign cavalry. I lose another 1.
but you are wide frontage than me. That's only 1 more.
Yeah. So that adds 1 on to me. Yeah, because you haven't changed yours. Neither of us are unformed. That's it. So I'm on 5.
I'm on 11.
So I lose by 6. That's not a good result. Attacker retreats with 1 D3 casualties. Okay, so I take 2 casualties and I retreat. Okay, so Charlie's opening fire with his artillery against the chasseur brigade at the rear here, both at long range.
I get
eight,
is
which is one casualty, I think. I'll just check.
Yeah, and then I get to bounce through onto
And a
that.
bounce through, yeah.
It's another casualty.
Okay, so one casualty on both.
Oh, they're on. Oh, I thought they were 9 because it was upside down. 7.
Yeah, 8 is one. I've done it. I put it on.
So now my second one.
The second gun.
2.
That's a fatigue casualty.
And I put it on that one because.
Yeah, and
Bounce
then
through.
bounce through, nothing.
I was hoping to just destroy it with my bounce through.
Okay, so now the crunch fight.
I think this, if the British win this one, I think it might be the end of the game. But
I think so. We'll see how we go.
but even if you do win, I don't think your infantry will make it up there or your cavalry
No, it's not looking great.
because my artillery is
Alright.
just too powerful right now.
So we both start with 5 dice.
So I am heavy cavalry. You
I'm
two.
heavy cavalry, so we both get +2.
Oh,
You get 1 more for being elite.
Yep. Okay, I'm 2 markers above you because I'm guards.
No.
Oh.
No. You're elite, so that's +1.
Yep.
You're heavy cavalry, +2. Neither of us are large units.
Didn't I have a lot?
You're a small unit, so you lose a
No.
dice. You're only 4 bases.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
No,
9, 10,
that's
11,
3
12.
units. You wouldn't have got the charge re-rolls. So you just lose 1 dice.
Okay. But I think I have a land.
But you're a morale grade above me, so you gain a dice.
I think I have 2 morale grades above you because I'm guards and you're just.
No, I'm just veterans, so you're only 1 grade above me. You haven't got a land. We've both got the same.
We both have a lot of dice.
All right. Not very good for the French.
They've
Only
got
2
2.
casualties.
Oh, and the British got quite good. The British got a 5.
5. So casualty difference +3.
Oh, they
You
have been
rout
battered.
me.
They have 8 casualties.
All right. I think at that point,
Your heavy cavalry is routing.
my heavy cavalry is now routing. I'm going to have to do a falter test.
Napoleon's in danger.
Napoleon's in danger. We've only captured 1 of the villages. I can't see. We've got time in the remaining 2 turns to get up onto that hill. So we will declare Charlie the victor. Well done, Charlie. Hope you enjoyed the game. That's the end of our cavalry skirmish.
And it is your another game you've lost.
And another game I've lost. All right, see you all
One
again
day
next
you
time.
will hopefully win.